Who would win? The celestial embodiment of the sun or a rock? To that question, I raise you a counter question. Who would win? A rock or one orange boy? Yo, what's good, Sims? The Worst Duelist here. So recently I was going through my stuff and I found my Tengu Plant deck, which is Chaos Agents, and I had the idea of revisiting the deck for Modern. I took it to locals, I play tested for like 6 hours. I talk about it more in the deck profile, and I kind of just wanted to take a look back at the deck and see what I can do with it now. Like 2 years later, Chaos Space is at 1. I was very uncertain on like how I would be able to make something work. The new list is actually pretty similar to the old list. There was just a couple of concessions that had to have been made, obviously slimming down the Chaos Space, but in doing so, it ended up opening up more space for non-ancient, and also I was reconsidering the overall structure of getting into combo lines and discovering new combo lines that I hadn't explored before, that probably other people have explored before, but that was new to me. There is no combo in this video, but I was thinking about making a separate combo guide to upload at some point. But yeah, this is what I came up. But yeah, this is what I came up with, and let's get on into the deck list.
Alright, so I tested this deck list for about 6 hours yesterday at locals. I played like 10 matches. I went like 8-2 with it. A couple of the matches weren't real, like they were pretty free. But realistically, all I was trying to really do was see how well the deck fared into a board and how well you know, the deck would consistently be able to combo. And with an 8-2 record, even though I wasn't playing like the most top tier decks, was pretty good, I would say. So I was overall pleased with the results from yesterday. It's been a while since I've looked at this list. I kind of was taking a look at like Chaos Space going to 1 and seeing as how that could be potentially problematic for the deck list, just because Chaos Space was in like my previous iterations of the build was just a really powerful way for you to, you know, extend your plays and maybe play through hand traps. But with that being at 1, I was kind of concerned with the deck's ability to regain card advantage, which, to be fair, I'm not exactly wrong in being concerned in that, because that is an issue, considering that most of the combos are 2-card combos or 2.5s, you know, which isn't exactly great. However, you'd be surprised that the deck has quite a bit of resiliency, because a lot of people don't exactly know when to interact with this, and spoiler, we are on 3 copies of Orange Light, so that definitely gives you a bit of an edge in some regard versus particular cards. Obviously not Imperm, there's not really a whole ton we can do about Imperm, but yeah, I'll kind of explain those sorts of things more as we get into the profile, but yeah. Alright, so we have 3 of the Majesty Hyperion. We're not playing the light one. There's really no reason to play the light one. This one's simply just better, besides the fact that the light one obviously pops cards on field. That, of course, has a leg up on this guy's ability to just banish monsters from grave, but this guy can summon from grave, and it's a dark, which is rather important for a lot of your combo lines. Pretty much all of your 2-card combo lines involve Hyperion plus 3 Earth or 3 Venus, so yeah, this one's just overall better. We can pitch this off of stuff and revive it, which is, you know, makes it so when we're discarding, it's not like we're really losing a card, which is, you know, kind of important in some scenarios. And then we have 3 Earth, which I'm not going to explain. Oftentimes you'll be searching one of your 3 copies of Neptune. So Neptune is, you discard it from your hand, and then you target an agent in your grave and you special summon it. And then when this card's banished, you add Sanctuary in the Sky, which actually is relevant. The 1 copy in the deck actually is important, because you need to do it so that you can resolve Celestial Night Lord Parshath's effect to search any fairy instead of just searching Sanctuary in the Sky. So yeah, and then obviously this fits very nicely with, you know, Earth, search this, make Almirage, pitch, and then special Hyperion by banishing this, and then you get to add that, and then you can go into your combo lines from there, which I'll probably end up making a combo guide for this deck, just because it's one of those less experimented with decks that are out there. I mean, for obvious reasons. A lot of people kind of just saw this stuff and wrote it off when it came out of Ghost from the Past 2, but I was looking at this for a while whenever the structure was announced in Japan. I actually have all the OCG versions of the new support, because I was testing it before it came out in America. 3 Venus, I didn't used to play 3 of this, but I also never played the Diviner package. I feel like the Diviner package is just adding, you know, 2 more garnets for a 1-card combo, which is very powerful, but we're adding 2 garnets on top of the 4 garnets that you already have to play. So I was kind of never really a fan of the Diviner of the Herald stuff, playing Bhutan and Trias Hierarch, or whatever the card's name is, the level 9 thing that will get you into the Master Flare off of just normal summon Diviner. And again, I didn't always play 3 of this, but now after revisiting the deck, I can see the value of you know, going for this as a combo line as well. The only problem with this is this just like gets super destroyed by Infinite Impermanence in Valor, which is potentially problematic, because whereas Earth, if we have Neptune in hand and like we have this guy as well, which and then we're like, you know, we're boarding into 3-card combo territory. But at any rate, if we already have it all, then we don't really care if they Impermanence this or Valor this or Ash this. Now, what is nice about Venus is if you Ash this, then, well, get fucking wrecked, because this is infinite times. As long as there's Shine Balls in your deck and you have life points to pay, you can just activate it again, which a lot of people did during my testing. They would just Ash this, and I'm like, okay, anyway, activate, pay 500, special. So yeah, it's very good. Mostly because a lot of newer players won't know what this card's effect is, and some people that played even back then in 2011, whenever Agents was meta, might not just remember that you could just activate this infinite times, which is very good. So yeah, 3 Venus, and this is like pseudo 1-card combo, but like the combo isn't like amazing. It gets better if you have access to Neptune and you have access to Majesty Hyperion. But yeah, just one of the Agent of Destruction Venus, mostly because we can just search this in the combo. And then I used to only play 1 of this because we just sent it off this guy, but that became kind of problematic whenever you, not this one, you sent off the level 10 and copy its effect, but that became kind of problematic whenever you would open the singleton copy. So yeah, this less so, like if you open this, then you can just search something else with Celestial Night Lord Parshath. So yeah, opening this is actually quite good, because if we start with this and we can get into combo, then this is going to be able to help us, you know, extend and reuse our Shine Balls and, you know, whatever else. Speaking of 3 Shine Balls, this is really the main crux of the deck, the fact that we have to play this card. Obviously it's a vanilla, it does nothing. Even like combo lines with Link Spider just do nothing. It's really, really bad. But unfortunately, you just have to play this card. You don't really have much of a choice. It's kind of what allows you to really make a bunch of explosive combos, 6 negate boards, 5 negate boards. But yeah, you can obviously, you know, special 3, get this out, special 3, and then special 3 again, because this will special from grave, and then you can special them back from your deck, because this puts them on the bottom of the deck, which is, you know, kind of insane. But yeah, 3 Shine Ball. For my extenders, I went with 3 Time Maiden. So Time Maiden, I feel, is better than Corobane because of the fact that Celestial Night Lord Parshath's second effect, not the search effect, the one where you banish a fairy in grave. Whenever a fairy monster is sent to grave, you target a fairy in grave. I think it targets, I don't remember. I digress. When a fairy monster is on the field that's sent to graveyard, you can banish a fairy in your grave. You can special summon a monster from your hand that's 1 level higher than it, or not 1 level higher than it, just a level that's higher than it. Obviously, this being level 1 allows us to get access to Earth and Orange to make, you know, additional synchro plays, or even go into like Herald of the Arclight. So I really like the Time Maidens much more than the Corobanes. I guess technically you could play Light Stage with Corobane and search it that way, just so you can have that free extender a little more consistently. However, if you really want to get cheeky, you can side Time Lords, because this is like Lone Fire for Time Lords, which is very funny. I'm not so certain about doing that. I've never played this deck in the tournament setting. I've only ever played the deck casually. So yeah, 3 Time Maidens. And then it's also 1 Chaos Valkyria and 1 of the Chaos Creator. These are your Chaos-based targets. Obviously, it was a lot better when we had 3 because we could more consistently get access to Chaos Creator, which really pushes your combo lines to like insane amounts. You can do all kinds of, you get like extra shit like Barons and extra Titanic Galaxies, stuff that you shouldn't, and obviously it lets you recycle your extra deck monsters, which is nice. You can even special back your extra deck monsters to make Appaloosa 4 as opposed to Appaloosa 2. But Appaloosa 2 is like less relevant once we get into the extra deck. But yeah, Chaos Creator is one of my favorite cards. Obviously, like the Dark Creator is also one of my favorite cards. I really like all iterations of the Creator, so of course I included it here. yeah, it's very good. Fits in very well. And the Chaos Valkyria obviously is your light target. This one's light. This one's dark. And it's a fairy, which is nice. This guy being a thunder can be problematic sometimes, but it doesn't really matter that much. Oftentimes, if you have this, it can be sort of win more, but it also is just an extra negation. And sometimes we can use this to get into combo lines because it will put, like, if we drew something that we need in deck, it can put it back. Of course, it's very easy to fulfill this card's conditions by your simple combo of Banish Neptune off of Hyperion and then Banish 2 to summon this, then you have 3. Yeah, moving on. The effect, I will say the effect of Chaos Valkyria to send a card to grave doesn't come up that often, but it is nice because if you do end up banishing this, you can send additional copies of Hyperion. So for spells, we have 3 Sacred Water of the Sky. You're pretty much never going to use a life gain effect unless you're like going into turn 3, in which case, I mean, you should just like be OTKing at that point. But yeah. Search a cardless Sanctuary in the Sky. Very good. This adds Majesty Hyperion, which is nice. So it's additional copies of a lot of stuff in your deck. Unfortunately, this can't search Venus or the Agent of Destruction Venus, but Earth can, so, you know, it is what it is. But it searches pretty much everything else. The one Sanctuary Brick, this is unfortunate that you have to play this, but yeah. 1 Chaos Space, because why would you not play this? And then the other extender outside of Time Maiden is Instant Fusion and 1 Ready Fusion. I was going to go with 3 Ready, but then in my testing, I was proxying Ready Fusion, and then I ended up getting 1, and then it came up actually a couple times where I could use both, where I would draw it. And this also will prevent clogging, also not keeping this at 2 and this at 1, and also help me keep the deck 40. But, you know, this being a 2 of doesn't really matter because we're also on Triple Prosperity as the first card in our non-engine. Obviously, this is good because there's quite a few cards that you can live without and still do a full combo, which again would ultimately lead to you winning. You just leave access code in the extra deck, and then you can Prosperity for 6 freely. And depending on your hand is what will kind of depend, like what your 5th and 6th cards that you banish are, but yeah. And also if you're going first or going second. Hand traps. Rest of the non-engine. I guess this is kind of like pseudo-engine, but 3 orange, yeah, it's very good. 3 ash. If this is a fairy, this would be better, but, you know, happens. This is obviously just covers a lot of ground, and same thing with impermanence, it's just very generic, so I opted to play these. 12 non-engine is very good, of course. It kind of sucks that we do have to end up putting 3 for Prosperity, but of course, if you did place in a tournament setting, Prosperity is very good for seeing sideboard in these slots. You could also set out space and the extenders for space, and that's more side deck slots as well. And if you really wanted to, you could side these out for even more side decks. So you can have like a ton non-engine. But I feel like the extenders are more important for Ready Fusion and Instant Fusion as opposed to the Chaos Space engine, because again, it can be like sort of win more, but like Chaos Valkyria can sometimes really get you into combos because it is a fairy. So yeah, that's the rest of the main deck. 40 cards flat. I really wanted to keep it 40. I was playing 2 Creator and 2 Venus, but I ended up putting 3rd Venus in, taking out the 2nd Creator, just because the 2nd Creator clogged quite often, and you just want access to more starters, so I added the 3rd Venus back in. This was originally like 45 or something, and I had to like cut it down. So yeah, this is kind of what I landed on. It's pretty good, very consistent. Again, 8-2 record. It was only game 1s, but like still it was best of 3, but only game 1s. Like we weren't using sideboard, but yeah, very consistent. I was very pleased with my testing. So we have 1 Almirage. This is to enable combos. Yeah, normal Earth, add Neptune, make this special back, banish Hyperion, get you into Master Flare, and get you into stuff. And basically, you'll end up using this after you make Celestial Nightlord to turn it into Appaloosa. So yeah, very good. 1 Protector of the Aegis Moon. I kind of want to find room for a second. There's definitely cuttable stuff. I'm still kind of really ironing out the extra deck. SP definitely needs to go in here. I don't have SP yet, which I'm gonna have to acquire soon because I'm gonna have to upload my sprite goo, and I'm gonna need SP for that. Herald of Mirage Lights. There's combos where you can guarantee the negate on this, and then there's combos where you just can't get into this, which is where like the 5th and 6th card for Prosperity comes in depending on your hand. Of course, this is very good, negate spells and traps. You don't get to use the 2nd effect, but you know, it is what it is. 1 IP, I'm not sure if I would leave this in or cut this for SP, because I'm also playing both Lina and Dark, mostly because we have a lot more ease of access to Lina, and there is, you know, still plenty targets within like meta strategies for Lina, people on Veilers, and also just random extra deck monsters as well. It's very good for Lina. And then Dark, there's no explanation for Dark. This could come out as well for SP, because I feel like this will come up a lot less than Dark, but it's a lot easier to make this, so I'm uncertain exactly what I'll do with that. 1 Celestial Nightlord Parshat, this is part of your combo. 1 Appaloosa, this is part of your end board. 1 Access Code, this is for the crackback, and then, you know, the OTK. One Herald of the Arclight. This is another card that could come out for something else because you don't really consistently make this often. You only really get this out whenever you have Chaos Creator lines. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. Also, you could like play Barone in this too, but it never actually like came up a whole ton whenever I was testing the deck. One Executioner of the Underworld Pluto. This card is very, very good as part of your end board because it can protect your Appaloosa for 2 or your Herald of Mirage Lights because this is a Book of Moon. Whenever you have, what's it called, Sanctuary in the Sky, and it banishes cards engraved, which can potentially trigger things, not often, but it can trigger things. Master Flare, very crazy card. This is a once per turn ability to send a card that lists Sanctuary in the Sky or an agent monster from your extra deck or deck to the grave and then copy its effect. So not only can you could send this guy if you wanted, but you can like send Venus, and then if you don't get access to the Dark Venus, then on the following turn you can use effect again and then get an access code that way as well. Very good. And then it's quick effect banish. When your opponent activates a card or effect, you banish a monster in their grave, you banish a card in the field. It doesn't have to be the card that activated either, so yeah, it's very, very good. 3200, also kind of huge. One number 38, this is very easy to make with Chaos Creator, so that's kind of why this is here. Again, this is something that like might be able to come out, but spell negation is very good because you already have double monster negate, pretty much guarantee. You're always going to get into Appaloosa, and then this will also is kind of like another thing like Pluto, where if we end up like making Mirage Lights, Appaloosa, Master Flare, this guy, then we have this to also protect these, and this is not, I believe this effect is not once per turn. I have to read it real quick. Yeah, the effect to redirect attacks is not once per turn, which is very good, and then we're not really going to ever get to use the other ability. Whenever your XYZ dies, you can give the attack to him, or I think it's a target another XYZ, but yeah, we're not going to do that because it's the only Exceed we play. Technically, you could play Typhon in here. I was kind of considering Typhon as well. I just got it in the mail, and Typhon obviously is very good. I don't exactly know what would come out, but again, your contenders are like Lina and Herald of Arclight, but then again, it's like we could do Baron, and we're also playing double Alvain, mostly because if we do open both the instants, then this is Protector of the Agent's Moon without your normal summon. We could probably cut one of these. I only started testing 2 of this towards the end because I got the Ready Fusion while I was at Locals, and I just decided to do 1-1, so yeah, probably don't need 2 of these. I just profiled it because I was using it, and it can come up. A lot of the time, if you open both instant and ready, then you could just discard one of them. So maybe this could be Typhon. In fact, I think we'll do that right in the middle of the profile. We're just gonna make this Typhon instead. Yeah. So anyway, 1 Typhon and 1 Alvain for the fusion cards. Yeah. Anyway, so that's the agent deck. I hope you enjoyed the profile. I kind of did ramble on a little too long, I guess, but there's kind of a lot to talk about because no one really talks about this deck unless they're playing, some straight trash, which is what most of the agent lists that I've seen on YouTube are. They're just not great. So I kind of wanted to revisit the deck, give my take on it. Ran very well. Kind of really just only needs SP. Maybe this comes out for Barone. I'm not really too certain because Chaos Creator can also get you into Barone, but I feel like Hope Hardbringer most of the time is just going to be better. So yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.